Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Love and light. It's your brother once again, Omni Amanashe, also known as Omni Omnis. This is courtesy of OmniVision EDU. This is a session of natural sciences 101. Here at OmniVision EDU, we're focused on historical and scientific literacy for indigenous peoples. Okay, so this is independent research. All right, so the bill for the day, brothers and sisters, is going to be about evolution theory. Evolution theory, true or false? So before we get rolling, family, let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a supporter, nor am I a believer of modern evolution theory. Evolution in general is the process which by living organisms were thought to have developed and diversified from earlier forms during the Earth's history. Okay, now evolution is the gradual change and development of something into a more complex form of itself, okay, over time. My deal with evolution theory in Darwin is impossible for man to have evolved from apes, hominids, monkeys, whatever you want to call it, considering there's still apes, hominids, monkeys, and all of that still today, all right? So that's not evolution. His proposition is that all organisms have descended over time from a common ancestor. Now, this is something that's widely accepted in the scientific community and considered to be mainstream science. Charles Darwin, he popularized the term natural selection in contrast with artificial selection. Okay? Now, in his viewpoint, one is intentional and the other is not. Okay? One is natural, the other is artificial. Initial origins of a living organism is what determines whether it fits the category of natural selection or either artificial selection. Artificial, meaning things produced by humans rather than things naturally occurring. Naturally occurring life forms evolve as a form of adaptation. The discrepancy is the two scientists, Charles Darwin and another scientist, Carl Landsteiner, are the two primary suspects. Carl Landsteiner, in the ABO blood group study in 1932, he discovered allelic antigenic cells present in some modern humans, okay, in some blood types, some blood groups. So this is associated with the Neanderthal gene, the Neanderthal DNA, all right, and this can be genetically traced. According to recent genetic studies, there is a 85% 15% ratio between Rh negatives and Rh positives. Neanderthal DNA in modern humans is determined by the difference in genetic factors between carriers and non-carriers. Antigens are pathogenic, toxic foreign substances which contaminate the surface of RBCs, all right? Now, an allele is one of two or more alternative forms of a gene that arise by mutation and are found at the same place on a chromosome. Mutagen, meaning mutant gene, all right, is the allelic and antigen DNA marker. A mutagen is an agent of substance that can bring about a permanent alteration to the physical composition of a DNA gene. Now, DNA mutations occur when DNA is either damaged or artificially altered. So, gene transfer and gene splicing is how the foreign antigen was introduced to the human genome through artificial selection, genetic engineering, genetic modification, biotechnology. So gene transfer is the movement of genetic material from unicellular and multicellular organisms rather than the typical transmission from parent to offspring. All right? So these are two contrasting concepts, natural selection and artificial selection. Hybridization is synonymous with artificial selection. Artificial, meaning things produced by humans rather than things naturally occurring. So when Carl Landsteiner discovered the ABO blood group study in 1932, they should have immediately debunked the evolution theory, because at that point they knew for sure the antigen was not present in every blood group. Antigens were only present in specific blood groups. Now, the antigen is an indication of hybridization taking place in the human genome. And we all know that humans, plants, animals are all made of cells. Okay, we're all biological entities composed of matter, all right, in a structural mechanical order, all right? And cells is what makes up our bodily tissues, the fundamental units of life. So mutagens are mutant cells, all right, which produces mutant tissues, which translates into mutant living organisms. So now we got to ask the question, how can we evolve from apes or primates or whatnot, and all humans are clearly not the same? So now we got to specify specifically what groups of humans are we referring to. The reason why different ethnic groups look different phenotypically is because we have different types of cells, which translates into different types of tissues. Okay, they call this genotype phenotype transcription. This is gene expression. Genes are expressed based upon their genotype phenotype transcription. Chemical and cellular composition, this is responsible for your physical and physiological appearance, behavior, characteristics, and traits. Internal parasites are part of the phenotype genotype transcription and Rh positive carriers. Things such as hair lice, which is not common in people of African descent. Parasitic worms such as flatworms and roundworms naturally develop in individuals who are of blood groups and blood types containing and possessing antigens and allelic genes. Now, if you notice, this is the same thing that occurs in dogs, in pets. They have to be dewormed, they have to get vaccinated, because they will naturally develop internal parasites due to the presence of antigens. If you ever experience an unpleasant wet dog smell going to the gym, or just being out in public where there are individuals that are not of African descent, it could possibly be the biochemical synthesis of keratin. Keratin is a sulfur-based biochemical compound that forms the structural tissues for hair, hooves, horns, feathers. Animals have antigens, but pure humans do not possess any antigens or allelic genes. All right? No foreign cells from a separate species. Rh positive carriers also naturally produce lactate and lactose. And this is why dairy products are so heavily promoted in Western culture. They say milk does a body good, but does it really? Lactate is a substance produced from lactate enzymes present in the DNA of some modern humans. This is why you have lactose intolerant and you have lactose tolerance. People of African descent are lactose intolerant due to our absence of antigenic allelic genes, okay? Meaning that we do not have the enzymes necessary to metabolize lactate and lactose, aka dairy. Now, considering we're two different species of organisms, there's no way that humans should be indulging in dairy. Lactose intolerance is an immune response between native and foreign cells. All right? An immune response is the reaction of the cells of the body to a foreign object or substance. Now, humans should nurture their young with human milk. All right? Calves, which are cows, nurture their young with cow milk. All right? Cow milk. Kangaroos nurture their young with kangaroo milk. All right? This is the way that it goes in nature. People of African descent are not Rh carriers, nor do we fit any description, any characteristics, any traits of a Rh carrier. Now, based upon ethnicity, we can tell which groups are likely to fit specific characteristics and traits. It is suggested that 20% of Neanderthal DNA survived in modern humans, notably expressed in the hair, skin, and diseases of modern people. Archaic humans, meaning ancient, are the oldest group of humans, the original parent species. Those of older genes are more well adapted to the natural environment, making us ideal for the survival of the fittest concept in natural selection. Archaic humans and modern humans arrive at two different separate points in time. Neanderthals are a group of subspecies of archaic humans thought to have went extinct. Part hominids, part humanoids, meaning they're hybrids. Hybrid is a cross strain between two genetically distinct separate species. The Homo erectus, which is also a group of subspecies of archaic humans. They are thought to be the oldest common ancestor of modern humans. Now, it was accredited to scientist Eugene Du Bois in 1891. The remains suggest the Homo erectus is proposed to be the direct ancestor of several human species. The Homo heidelbergensis, the Homo antecessor, the Denisovans, the Homo erectus, and of course, our favorite, modern humans. So here we see the political bias against original humans and the promotion of animal genes. Your blood grouping determines your blood type and your bloodline. All right? This is how you trace your ancestry. The O blood type, whether O positive or O negative, is of the same grouping, of the same chemical and cellular composition. It stands for original or oldest. It stands for oldest or original. Okay? Now, this is how you can trace your ancestral lineage. O negative is of matrilineal mitochondrial descent. All right? And O positive is patrilineal mitochondrial descent. O blood type has superior protein-based cells, all right? Two naturally occurring antibodies, which are the pure human DNA markers. And then you got your A antigen in the A blood type, your B antigen in the B blood type, and you have your A and B antigen present in your AB blood type. These are your universal recipients. They have no naturally occurring antibiotics, okay? So antibodies. They have no naturally occurring antibodies in their DNA, which results in low immune defense, okay? Now, this is why they make vaccines specifically for this blood grouping, but they're not letting individuals know that their immunology, the immunity, is based upon their blood grouping, their chemical and their cellular composition. Immune deficiency will only result in those who do not have naturally occurring antibodies, which are the immune defenders. The evolution theory is about the evolution of man from one species to another. But what we do know is that there are foreign cells present in modern man that are consistent from the animal kingdom, commonly found in primates. And this is what they call Rh status or Rh positive, Rh carriers. The evolution theory is about Rh carriers.